Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today is Monday, May 19th. So if you were in chat on Friday, you had Apple over here. Absolutely fantastic. What a beautiful move, okay? We made some great money. If you saw the weekend videos, you did okay today if you scalped it out. But we have a target of 619 this week, just the way we've technically laid it out. So we'll have to see what happens. It's 604 now. It hit 607 today. So beautiful move here in Apple. Apple does have new support right now, and it's going to be the top of these two candles. So if it does pull back and it comes down to this candle to the bottom of this here, this is your collection area if you're not in yet, or if you want to scalp some options on it. If this is broken, then we are heading to the downside. It's that simple. So just keep an eye on that. Apple, taking a look at the weekly real quick, because we're doing two ups and two downs for stocks, okay? And the next one's going to be up, and then I'm going to give you two to the downside. So these are all option trades if you prefer to play that way. But you can see Apple on the weekly. There's no broken process here off the 100-day moving average. You have 1, 2, 3 candles up, accumulation day up and up. Okay, do you think it's going to go down now? I don't. We're coming up to that point now where people want to get in for the divvy and also for the split. June 9th, I believe, is the divvy, and people want to have some of the stock for the split. So we'll have to see what happens here. Everything is still okay. Turn to the upside. Get a little bit of a kick down on the RSI 14, but the moving average 5 is still tracking to the upside. So I think everything looks good here on the weekly and on the daily. So continuation of Apple with a target of 614 this week. All right, let's see here. ALK, the next one for the upside for you for options. Okay, beautiful move here off of the middle Bollinger Band, still staying strong. Came up, hit the upper Bollinger Band, and is pretty solid here. Pulled back just a little bit into the end of the day. I want to take a look at the weekly on this real quick, and then we'll move to the other two. Weekly is just a consistent up pattern. Okay, even though this is only day one, it did have a big move here. From up to down, but starting this week out, we're starting out green. So we want to see if we can continue this pattern and break this high right here of 98.55. And if we can, watch out, she's going to rock and roll for further upside. Did fill this gap that was sitting back here nicely, and continued off of that. So, and that was off the split. So if you're taking a look at Apple, when Apple splits and you want to hold long term, you can see kind of what takes place on a good company. So ALK we've been talking about for a while, I think, over in this area, middle Bollinger Band here. So it's just continuing to the upside. Members were down here at the middle Bolly in this area. So if you're not a member, it's time to be one. CACI, we think downside. Okay, I'll show you why in just a second. Let's switch to the daily here. The daily's had 1, 2, 3 days here trying to get over this 200-day moving average, and it's just not taking place. You have your runes still turning to the downside, even though your chuck and money flow is low. Relative strength index still at 65, but it's really having a hard time getting through this 200-day moving average. So keep an eye on this. If it does break through it, it will come up to the upside, okay? But I don't see that happening. I think it would have today or Friday, but it hasn't. So, but the middle Bollinger Band is acting as support right now. So what we want for confirmation is it to get under this 71.22 in that area, and then look for this one to resume to the downside. Okay, taking a look at the weekly. Actually, let's go to the monthly. Whoops, that's quarterly. You don't want to do that. Let's go to the monthly here. Okay, so the monthly, you could see you had the double top, and then the last 2 months down. It's trying to recover itself a little bit here. We have 2 weeks left, so we're going to have to see what happens here. It's not a huge trade zone for this. I mean, it only moves a little bit every month, but it's worth a watch here at this point, because if it breaks that 200-day moving average, look for this one to come down to 64.86. Okay, so that'll be a nice move. So keep an eye on CACI. Another one for the downside. Let's switch this back over to the daily. We're going to go to HTWR. Okay, HTWR, same thing, 100-day moving averages in the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, okay? It tried breaking through today, but still came back on itself, okay? So it looks really good here for a downside move, some options, so keep an eye on this one. We also have a little gap right here. Let me see if I zoom it in for you so you can see. All right, right here, this wick right here. So you have a little gap right here, sitting here at 85. So we think we can get that. Relative strength index on the daily is at 72, and your chalk and money flow is turned to the downside. So this would be a great scalp to the downside if you want to play some options. More importantly, for this one longer term, you have to keep an eye on this big gap right here. The gap fill here is 70, 77, 78. So if you're looking at some summertime options, those might be something you want to set it and forget it. So keep an eye on HTWR for more downside. We got a gap fill down low that we need to take care of, and a gap fill right up there that needs to be taken care of. So relative strength index is a little bit high. So taking a look at the monthly and the weekly real quick on this one. The weekly is pretty much showing the same thing under the middle Bollinger Band 1, 2, 3 times. It's not going to stay up. It's going to fail. It tried it, didn't do it. Tried it, didn't do it, tried it, didn't do it. Okay, so that's very bearish. So bearish downside, you get support right here with all these candles at 82. You have a spike down to the 81 to the 200-day moving average, and from there it'll probably just clip this right here and then bounce off of that. So you can see how you're starting to turn down on your indicators, and you're chalking money flow, and that's on a weekly. And granted, this is only day 1 in the week, but taking a look at the monthly real quick, it'll look even better. All right. It is over the middle Bollinger Band on a monthly. We have 2 weeks left. So if we can get under the 88.81, write that down, 88.81, then we're going to have 2 months of bullish, at least 2 months of bullish. I'm sorry, bearish. So keep an eye on that HTWR. You want to look at all time frames when you're analyzing these so you can plan your trade out for as long as you can. We do that all day long in the chat room and scalp these things like there's no tomorrow. So please, if you're not a member, look, I have this is way down here. All right, so if you're not a member, it's so 74. It's well worth it to become a member. It's $500 for a lifetime membership, and just alone today we had a 70% mover in stocks. Never mind the options to the upside. So I mean, every day there's beautiful setups for you to take advantage of. Great learning atmosphere, and we're also available on mobile now. In the Android store, so you can take us with you wherever you want to go. So more development is coming, more learning tools coming, and more amazing picks coming. All right, you cannot beat our scans. Nobody out there can. All right, everyone, have yourself a great night.